Indoor flowering plants have this funny way of changing the whole mood of a room, almost like they sneak in their own sunshine even on the laziest days. When you walk past a pot bursting with color, it's hard not to feel a little lighter, a little more alive, even if you're running on cold coffee and last night's leftovers. And the best part, you don't need a greenhouse or a PhD in botany to keep these beauties thriving. Most of them just want a decent window, a bit of attention, and the occasional reminder that they're not decorative furniture. From bold blooms that practically glow to delicate petals that look like tiny works of art, these plants bring personality you can actually feel. They make dull corners cheerful, bland shelves interesting, and plain rooms suddenly feel like someone who's got their life together lives there. Whether you're chasing more color, more scent, or just a little boost of happy energy, these indoor flowering plants deliver the vibe every single time. Let's walk through 16 of the best ones that can brighten your home, and honestly, your whole mood, without demanding much in return. Angelonia is one of those plants that quietly steals the show indoors, because its blooms look like tiny snapdragon cousins that just keep coming, even when you forget to baby them. You get these long, colorful spikes that can last for months, and studies from university horticulture trials actually rate Angelonia as one of the top heat-tolerant and low-maintenance flowering plants, which is why it performs so well inside warm homes. It thrives in bright light, sips water instead of chugging it, and handles dry air better than most indoor bloomers, making it perfect for apartments and busy people who don't want a high-maintenance diva. And the cool part is that hummingbirds and pollinators love Angelonia outdoors, which tells you how much life and color it naturally brings into any space, so indoors it kind of carries that same uplifting energy. Blanket flower brings this instant burst of warm, sunny energy into a room with its fiery red and yellow petals that look like little sunsets growing right on your shelf. It's one of the longest blooming flowers tested in garden trials, often pushing out color for 90 to 120 days straight, which means indoors you get a plant that keeps your space feeling cheerful way longer than most house blooms. It thrives in bright light, doesn't mind if you forget a watering or two, and actually prefers slightly dry soil, making it a perfect match for people who aren't exactly consistent plant parents. And what's really fun is that its bold colors are proven to boost visual mood and energy levels, so even on those slow mornings, this plant throws a little spark into your home just by being there. Million Bells is one of those plants that instantly lifts the vibe of a room because it blooms like it's trying to win an award, covering itself in dozens of tiny, vibrant, bell-shaped flowers almost non-stop. In fact, greenhouse studies show it can produce hundreds of blooms in a single season, which is why people love using it indoors as a mood booster. It brings that constant pop of color without feeling overwhelming. It likes bright light, stays happiest when the soil dries slightly between waterings, and rewards you with healthier growth if you give it well-draining soil, so it's super easy to manage even if you're not a plant perfectionist. And here's the fun part, Million Bells attracts butterflies outdoors, and indoors it brings that same cheerful, lively energy, making your home feel like it has its own little slice of summer every day. CELOSIA is the kind of plant that instantly makes a room feel more alive because its blooms don't even look real, they're bright, sculpted, and fluffy like tiny flames or coral plumes sitting right on your table. It's actually been shown in horticultural trials to hold its color longer than many indoor bloomers, which is why it's such a great pick for adding long-lasting cheer to your space. It loves bright light, stays happiest when the soil is kept lightly moist but never soggy, and grows best in a loose, airy mix that lets the roots breathe, making it surprisingly low maintenance for something that looks so dramatic. And the coolest part is that CELOSIA is often used in mood-boosting decor because its upright, energetic blooms naturally draw your eye upward, creating that little emotional lift every time you walk past it. Black-Eyed Susan brings the kind of warm, feel-good energy into a room that almost works like natural therapy, thanks to its bright golden petals and that bold dark center that instantly grabs your attention. Studies from ornamental plant trials show it can bloom for nearly 10 to 12 weeks straight, which means indoors you're getting a long, steady dose of color that keeps your space feeling upbeat. It thrives with bright, indirect light, handles regular watering with quick-draining soil, and doesn't complain if you miss a day, making it a great choice for people who like low-drama plants. And what makes it even more charming is that this flower is scientifically linked to positive visual stimulation, meaning those cheerful daisy-like blooms can genuinely nudge your mood upward every time you pass by. DAYLILY brings a surprisingly uplifting presence indoors because its big, bold blooms look like little bursts of sunshine that open fresh each day, giving your home a new spark every morning. Even though each flower lasts about 24 hours, horticultural studies show a single plant can produce dozens of blooms over several weeks, which keeps the color show going far longer than you'd expect. It prefers bright light near a sunny window, enjoys evenly moist but well-drained soil, and handles occasional forgetful watering without throwing a fit, making it easier to grow indoors than most people think. And here's the fun part, daylilies come in more than 80,000 registered varieties, so having one inside your home feels a little like keeping a collectible, each bloom a new surprise that boosts your mood the moment it opens. Geranium brings this upbeat, cheerful energy into your home because its clusters of bright blooms look like little color explosions perched on top of sturdy stems, and they just keep coming when the plant is happy. Indoor trials show that geraniums can bloom for months at a time, especially when they get a sunny window and a light, airy potting mix that keeps their roots breathing. They like the soil to dry slightly between waterings, making them perfect for anyone who occasionally forgets the watering can, and they respond with even better flowering when you give them just a bit of fertilizer during active growth. And the fun part is that geranium leaves have a subtle, refreshing scent when brushed, which adds this gentle, feel-good lift to the space, almost like a natural room freshener that also brightens your mood every time you pass by. Globe Amaranth brings a playful, feel-good vibe into your home because its round, papery blooms look like tiny colorful candies sitting on airy stems, and they stay bright for an impressively long time. Horticulture studies actually rank it among the longest-lasting cut flowers, sometimes holding color for weeks, which means indoors it keeps your space looking lively without much effort. It thrives in bright light, appreciates well-drained soil, and prefers a light watering hand, making it perfect for people who want color without constant maintenance. And what makes it even more charming is that its blooms naturally retain their shape and vibrancy even as they age, giving your room a steady dose of cheerful energy that feels warm, calm, and surprisingly uplifting every time you look at it. Hibiscus brings a bold, happy energy into your home because its huge, tropical blooms look like they belong on a vacation postcard, and seeing that pop of color inside instantly lifts your mood. Research from indoor plant trials shows hibiscus blooms can reach 4 to 8 inches wide, making them one of the most dramatic flowers you can grow indoors, and they often rebloom every few days when they're getting enough light. It loves a sunny window, prefers evenly moist soil with good drainage, and responds really well to consistent watering, which keeps the foliage glossy and the flowers coming. And the fun part is that hibiscus blooms open fresh in the morning and fade by night, giving you this little daily moment of excitement, almost like nature's way of reminding you to slow down and enjoy something beautiful before the day slips by. Petunia brings an instant dose of happiness into your home because its trumpet-shaped blooms come in practically every color imaginable, and they flower so heavily that even a small pot can look like a mini bouquet. Greenhouse performance tests show petunias can produce hundreds of blooms in a single season, which makes them one of the most reliable feel-good plants you can grow indoors. They thrive in bright light near a sunny window, enjoy well-drained soil, and appreciate regular but moderate watering, rewarding you with fuller growth when you pinch back spent blooms. And what really makes petunias fun is their subtle, sweet fragrance. Some varieties release it strongest in the evening, giving your room a cozy, cheerful vibe that lifts your mood without you even realizing it. Chrysanthemum brings a bright, comforting energy into your home because its full, layered blooms look like tiny fireworks frozen in time, and they come in colors that instantly warm up even the dullest corner. Floriculture studies show that mums have one of the longest indoor bloom windows, often lasting 3 to 5 weeks when given good light, which means you get a steady burst of cheer without needing much effort. They thrive near a bright window, prefer evenly moist soil with quick drainage, and reward you with fresher, longer-lasting flowers if you keep them slightly cooler than other houseplants. And the really cool part is that NASA once highlighted mums for their air-purifying potential, which just adds to the feel-good factor, making your space look happier while also helping it feel a bit fresher every day. ZINNIA brings this bold, upbeat personality into your home because its blooms look like little pom-poms of color stacked in perfect layers, and they're proven in garden trials to be some of the fastest and longest bloomers among annual flowers. Indoors, they thrive in a bright, sunny spot, enjoy warm temperatures, and prefer soil that dries slightly between waterings, making them surprisingly easy to manage for how dramatic they look. Give them well-draining potting mix and a touch of fertilizer, and they'll reward you with bloom after bloom, often continuing for 8 to 10 weeks straight. And the fun thing about zinnias is that the vibrant colors have been linked to mood-boosting effects in color psychology studies, so having them around feels like keeping little bursts of happiness on your windowsill every single day. Shasta daisy brings this clean, bright, almost refreshing feeling into your home because its crisp white petals and sunny yellow centers look like pure positivity sitting in a pot. Trials from ornamental research show that Shasta daisies can bloom for 6 to 8 weeks, which means indoors you get a long stretch of cheerful color that instantly lightens the room. They thrive best in bright light, prefer soil that stays lightly moist but never soggy, and grow really well in a loose, well-draining mix that lets their roots stay comfortable. And the fun part is that these daisies have been tied to mood-lifting effects in color therapy. The strong contrast of white and yellow naturally draws your eye and gives you that small, happy kick every time you walk past them. Verbena brings a soft, cheerful energy into your home because its clusters of tiny, vibrant flowers look like little bouquets that keep refreshing themselves week after week. In flowering performance trials, verbena ranks as one of the most continuous bloomers, often pushing out color for 60 to 90 days, which means indoors it gives you a long, steady stretch of happy vibes. It thrives in bright light, appreciates soil that dries slightly between waterings, and grows best in a well-drained mix that keeps its roots from staying soggy, making it an easy pick for anyone who doesn't want a fussy plant. And what makes verbena especially charming is that its lightly scented blooms are known to create a calming, feel-good atmosphere, almost like having a small pocket of summer sitting on your desk or windowsill every time you look at it. Coneflower brings this warm, grounded energy into your home because its bold petals and raised center give it the classic wildflower charm that feels both rustic and uplifting. In bloom performance studies, coneflowers are rated among the most reliable long-blooming perennials, often flowering for 8 to 12 weeks, so indoors they bring a long stretch of steady color that keeps your space feeling alive. They thrive in bright light, handle slightly dry soil better than most flowering plants, and appreciate a well-draining mix that keeps their roots comfortable without much fuss, which makes them perfect for people who don't want to babysit their plants. And the fun part is that coneflowers are famous for attracting butterflies outdoors, so indoors they carry that same joyful, nature-inspired vibe, like having a little piece of a sunny meadow right inside your home. Fanflower brings this relaxed, breezy happiness into your home because its petals spread out like tiny hand-painted fans, giving every bloom a quirky little personality that instantly lifts the room's vibe. In flowering trials, fanflowers are rated as exceptionally long bloomers, often pushing color for 10 to 12 weeks, which means indoors you get a steady stream of cheerful purple, blue, or pink that never feels overpowering. They thrive in bright light, stay happiest when the soil dries lightly between waterings, and love a well-drained mix that keeps their roots from sitting in moisture, making them a perfect match for busy plant owners. And what makes them especially fun is that each bloom grows slightly sideways. This natural asymmetry gives the plant a playful, carefree look that adds a subtle boost to your mood every time you notice it, almost like the plant is waving hello whenever you walk by. And that's the full lineup of indoor flowering plants that can brighten your home and honestly make your everyday mood a whole lot lighter. Each one brings its own color, personality, and little spark of joy, and the best part is you don't need to be a plant expert to keep them thriving. If any of these caught your eye, try adding just one to your space. You'll be surprised how much difference a single pot of color can make. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and if you enjoyed this tour through the happiest indoor bloomers, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more plant-friendly vibes, and drop a comment about which one you're trying next. Your favorite might even show up in the next video.